Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Can you hear me? If so,
Yes.
can you please, the students can type on the chat if you can see us and hear us. Excellent, guys. Okay, so let's begin. Hi, everyone, again. Thank you very much for answering. My name is Carla Plasencia, and on behalf of the student world, I welcome you to this live session, Study Architectural Design in Italy with Politecnico di Milano. I'm going to show you super fast how this platform would work for you. So here on your right side, you have the chat. Here you can tell us where you're from and stuff like that. But if you have questions during the presentation, please type them on the second window from your chat tab, which is questions. So we can keep a better track of them, and we will have a few Q&A sessions during the presentation. Okay? So again, thank you everyone for sharing with us a little bit of your time. And now I'm going to introduce you to our presenters today. We have Professor Luigi Cocchiarella. We also have Francesca Deste. We have Alessandra Balestreri, Julia Naijivna. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Naijivneva, something like that. So sorry about that. And we also have Professor Andrea Campioli. So thank you everyone so much for being here with us today. I know my camera is a little bit unstable due to, Wi-Fi connection. Sometimes it's very unstable. But I won't take any more of your time. So let's begin with the presentation.
The micro, Francesca.
The microphone, Franci. Here we are. Thank you very much. Thank you for the presentation to Carla, and welcome everybody to this webinar today with us. I'm Francesca Deste. I'm working for the Students Recruitment Office of Politecnico di Milano. And today here we have many people gathered in order to present you the program in architectural design and our university, of course. So let's have a look very quickly at the schedule of our presentation. It's a big program today. So we have an overview of Politecnico di Milano. Alessandra will talk about how to apply to the entrance test that is necessary to enter the architectural design program. Then we will have a Q&A session with your questions, of course. And then our professors will talk about the program in architectural design more in detail. And then we will have our student testimonial, Julia, presenting her life at Politecnico di Milano. And last but not least, some information, some important tips and information about the admission test. So let's start with our presentation by presenting Politecnico di Milano. What is Politecnico di Milano? Well, in Italy, Politecnico di Milano is an historical and very prestigious university. It is a technical university, so we only have architecture, design, and engineering field. The university was established more than one and a half centuries ago. So once again, it's a historical university. And it is a reference point in Italy and also abroad in its field of studies, so in architecture, design, and engineering. The university is established and based in Milan. Milan is an extremely important city in Italy. It's the capital of Italy's most productive region, that is Lombardy. You see here in the map is located in the north part of Italy. And it's also recognized, well, renowned in the world as far as the design, fashion fields, for technology, but also for industry, art, and culture. And it is a student city. So in Milan, there are many universities and many international students studying each year. So this is where the university is based, but actually Politecnico di Milano is the largest university in architecture, design, and engineering in Italy. And we have more than one campus. We have overall 7 campuses. The 2 oldest campuses are located in Milan, of course, but we have other 5 campuses located in the region or very close to the region of Lombardy. Why Politecnico di Milano is spread in many different cities? Because these campuses were selected, the location of these campuses were selected for their particular relevance in certain fields. For example, of course, we will take into consideration Piacenza Campus, where architectural design is located. The program in architectural design is located. So, for example, Piacenza is an important city as well in Italy. It's an historical site. It is a smaller city than Milan, but it's also very important in the country nowadays, but also in the history. It was occupied in the history. It was occupied by several peoples and noble families in the medieval era and the Renaissance. In fact, you see here the famous Piazza Cavalli, with 2 equestrian statues and this Gothic palace that is one of the symbols of the city. The city is located nearly 70 kilometers south of Milan. And a curious fact is that the etymology derives from the Latin word placere, that means to please. So a very historical city, but it's also an important business and production center in Italy. And the main sectors of the economy of the city are mechanical and energy engineering, but also architecture, sustainable architecture, and landscape design. This is why in this campus we have all our programs are related, strongly related to the city and to the territory characteristics. And so we have the laureate program equivalent to Bachelor of Science in Architectural Design, and also other programs related to architectural sustainability, mechanical engineering, and energy engineering. The campus, the Piacenza campus, is like the city, is smaller than the campus of Milano, of course, but it's very close to the city center. It's close to the city train station, so the location is very good for our students. Let's talk about another topic. So research, the importance of research at Politecnico di Milano. The university is very keen, and research is a central topic, also driving the didactic. And Politecnico itself is the first university in Italy for funds coming from the European Commission. Politecnico di Milano has many laboratories, and here you can have a look at the 4 multidisciplinary laboratories. And also in Piacenza Campus, there are many laboratories where our students can study and practice. Politecnico is also an international university that is extremely important because being international and means for students meet people really from all over the world. And now we have students coming from more than 100 countries, and so means exchange ideas and especially here you see the provenience from 100 countries and how they are present in the university at undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD level. And we also host an international faculty, so also some professors, many professors come from different countries. So it's a way to really exchange ideas and conceptions. For these reasons, so internationalization, programs availability, Polytechnic and research, Politecnico di Milano has a very good position in the university rankings, especially QS World University Ranking, which is one of the most important among students, as confirmed us as a first university in Italy, fifth university at world level in design, 10 in architecture, so 10 world best university in architecture field, and 20th world best university in engineering. Politecnico is also a member of IDEA League, which is an important alliance among top European universities, and Enhance, another important alliance among universities. So I will skip the slide in order not to be too long. Very important is that you know what is our academic offer. We have two bachelor program held in English, architectural design, which is the one we are presenting today, and civil engineering. Then we have many other programs at master level and at PhD level. An important topic is how much does they cost. So for all our bachelor program in architectural design especially, the price is the same for all students and ranges between 900 euros approximately and 3,900 euros per year based on your family income. Here below, you have an idea of the living costs in Piacenza. This is in comparison with Milan, costs are lower in Piacenza. So more or less, the monthly expense for a student is around 700-800 euros per month, including accommodation, food, etc., and social life, etc. On the Piacenza Campus website, you see here on the top, polo-piacenza.polimi.it, you find the residences of the university, so you may select among different possibilities of residences. Lastly, one of the last information I want to give you is that Politecnico di Milano is very active in welcoming international students, as we have a long experience of international students coming to our university. So welcome activities. We have a buddy program that allow our students to have a buddy before their arrival in Italy and 3 months after their arrival in the country, in order to have somebody from the university giving you some tips. Then we have language courses, very important. You will be able to study Italian. We have cultural events, many students associations. Sports are very important for us, so sports activities, and special rate for students. And last but not least, our career service, that is a point of reference for our students. And it's it offers really constant support once you will study at Politecnico di Milano, organizing for the entire academic year career guidance days, job fairs, workshops, and publishing every week different internship and job opportunities. So we are very active in putting you in contact with the job market. Employability data for as far as students in architecture graduating the Bachelor of Science in Architecture, 84% of these students find a job within 1 year from graduation. So it's a very good rate, employability rate. Here you may have an idea, but I suggest you to visit our career service website in order for you to have a better idea of the companies linked to Politecnico di Milano and the possibilities offered by our university. And to end my part, I leave you with our website, the Piacenza Campus website, where you can find some interesting things about the city of Piacenza and the campus, of course, and our contact. And of course, also the social media of Politecnico di Milano, where a lot of videos, pictures, and testimonials are available for you. So I leave the floor to Alessandra, that will present the registration to the entrance test for architectural design. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesca.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm Alessandra, and I work for International Students Office in Student Secretary in Milano Leonardo Campus. I'm in charge in the admission procedure for a Bachelor course. So the admission process included the Italian or equivalent students Italian equivalent students, and this category included the students with Italian or European nationality, students all of nationalities with Italian degree, or non-EU students residing in Italy with a valid residence permit. Also, we work with non-EU students residing abroad with an international degree, and this category have a specific access to Politecnico di Milano Bachelor programs, and in a specific they need a visa in order to come here and to register in Bachelor courses. They need a visa for study, and the pre-registration procedure to obtain a visa will be completed through the University Italy website. So for the ARCAD admission test from academic year 2021 and 2022 will take place on July 28th. The registration procedure started from the first days of June and will be finished on July 20. The registration to the ARCAD test must be completed on Politecnico website, but the admission test will be delivered remotely on CISIA website. The day of the test, you must connect on CISIA website in order to take the test. And don't worry, because after your test registration on Polimi website, you will receive an email directly from CISIA with the procedure and the general information how to take the test. And generally, you will receive this email a couple of days after your test registration on Polimi website. Then the admission test will be provided in Italian and in English language. And the operating information to register the test are, you have to register on Polimi website in order to obtain your personal code and password to enter in the online services or your personal page account on Polimi website. You have to select the link who give to you the possibility to register in the admission test, and the link is still available, and the name of the link is the degree and single cycle degrees entry entrance test. You have to select registration for the test and the architecture test. At this point, you have to choose the language where you want to take the admission test, Italian or English. You can indicate your preferences, so you can choose a maximum of 6 preferences for the courses available from architecture school. And your course preference will be considered blindly for the first ranking list. And the last step for the registration is the payment of the test, and the cost is 30 euros. Then the ARCHET test consists in 40 questions divided in a different section: general knowledge, logical reasoning, history, drawing and representation, physics and maths. Then this is the general part of the test. Then at the end of this part, you have to take the last section of English test. Also, if you take the test in Italian and in English, you have to take this section at the end of the test, because all the students who want to enroll in a Bachelor in a Politecnico need to prove the English knowledge. And but the result of this English section will not consider in the test, in the final test score, or in the formulation of the rankings. Then, if you want to enroll in architectural design course taught in English language, you have to submit also an English language certificate. And the English language certificate accepted from Politecnico are the TOEFL CBT, the TOEFL IBT, TOEFL PBT, TOEIC, IELTS, Trinity College, and Cambridge. From these years, the students that enroll in a course held in English language must prove their Italian language knowledge before getting the degree. So don't worry, you have maybe 3 years in order to submit or one of the Italian language certificate accepted from Politecnico, and they are the CELI, the CILS, and the PLIDA. Or otherwise, you can decide to participate in Italian language courses that will be organized from Politecnico. Anyway, about these courses, you will receive all information after your enrollment. So I finish my presentation. This is the general information who wants register in ARCHET admission test. Now I think I leave the floor for the questions time.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Alessandra. And
thank you, Carla.
I have a few questions here from the students. So the first one would be, do you accept students from all over the world?
Yes, the important is the student or the general requirements we need in order to be registered in any Italian university has the students obtain their high school degree after 12 years of schooling. But anyway, we don't have any, we accept all.
Excellent, thank you very much. Now, here somebody is asking, what is the admission criteria?
Just the admission test. It is
We
the
will
general criteria is the admission test. They have to pass the admission test and the 12 years of schooling from the high school diploma. About the administrative criteria.
Perfect. Here someone is asking, do you need to submit a portfolio for admission or something like that?
No. Any portfolio, just the test.
Somebody here is also asking, do you offer any material to assist the students to study for the test?
Yeah, I think will be in the next presentation. The professor explained at this point for the preparatory courses.
Yes, I confirm.
Excellent. Perfect. Okay, guys, so you will know about that in a few minutes. Is there any age limit to the program?
No.
Perfect.
Maybe from the administrative, there is not any age limit.
Perfect.
Confirm. Any age.
Are the costs? Oh, that's awesome, because sometimes you want to change your path, but you don't know if you're too old for that. So that is great. That is great. Are the costs you shared before per year?
Yes, the cost vary between 900, that is the minimum you can pay, up to 3,900 euros, according to the family income. So you will be asked to provide some documents stating your family economic situation, and we have like 10 income brackets in which you can be put into. And according to your income, of course, you will pay your administrative fee. So the minimum is 900, the maximum is 3,900. In between, there are other 8 brackets, cost brackets.
Perfect. Another question that I have here is, do you offer any kind of scholarships?
Yes, the DSU scholarship. So I think it is already open the application online in order to ask the DSU scholarship.
Excellent. Someone here is also interested in knowing, do you have any sport activities on campus?
Yes, we have sports facilities, and I would suggest you to have a look to the website that is www.sports.polimi.it in order to have a more ever detailed picture of our sports facilities and teams, everything.
Just to give a news, the campus has been recently renovated, and next week, on June 22, the President of the Italian Republic will come here to celebrate the opening of the end of the work in progress and the opening of the new campus, including also new sport facilities.
I think we lost Carla.
Yes, we lost the connection. Let's see, maybe if there are some other questions, and then we can switch to the second part.
Among the number of places available, we will see in the second part of this afternoon.
Okay.
Sorry, I was lost for a little bit. I'm back. Sorry about that. Here someone wants to know, if I started my university in my country, can I transfer to Polyme?
Yes, of course. it is possible. Anyway, the admission test is mandatory, so in order to enroll, it is necessary to pass the admission test, and in the meantime, it is possible to ask the evaluation of previously career in order to check, to verify how many credits could be recognized on Politecnico career.
Perfect. Can you also please share with us the requirements for the scholarships?
I think the general requirements for the DSU scholarship are the family income for the first year.
Perfect. And here, I believe this will be the last question for this first part. So, can you please go again over the English requirements? If the students already did, for example, an IB high school program, do they still have to do the test?
Okay, for the students who come from an high school totally in English language, they don't need to submit any English certification. We consider, for example, the IB programs or the British diploma or the American high school diploma like a certification, an English language certification.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, so I believe that many of your questions that we haven't answered yet will be answered in the next part of the presentation.
Yep.
So let's go with that. And guys, if you still have any questions, you can still type them on the question section, and we will have a Q&A at the end. So let's begin with the next part.
Hi again. Welcome to this presentation. It's very nice to see so many students from so many nationalities participating in this meeting. Also, thanks to Francesca and Alessandra for the introduction. And I would like to mention that together with me is Professor Campioli, who is the coordinator of the study program, and Professor Giulia Setti, who is the coordinator for Piacenza. I am the vice coordinator of the program. And I will offer you this presentation about the Architectural Design Program, which is the English track of the course named in Italian Progettazione dell'Architettura. Today we will mainly focus on the Piacenza campus, since this year we opened for the first time an English track, totally taught in English. I have to manage with my file. Okay. Concerning few words just about the context of the study program, which is in the context of the School of Architecture. AUIC is the acronym for Architecture, Urban, and Engineering Constructions. It is an Italian acronym that I'm trying to translate now in English. The School of Architecture has a long tradition. It was born in 1865, combining the heritage of the Academy of Fine Arts and the engineering studies. So promoting a new program, which is still successful nowadays, and we are still adopting it. The complexity of the transformation implies that we focus at the same time on tradition and on innovation in order to make our students competitive on the international market, on the international professional market in the world of architecture, urban planning, and construction engineering. Looking back to the community of our graduates, we have great personalities like Achille Castiglioni, Aldo Rossi, Renzo Piano, Gaio Lenti, and many others could be mentioned, as well as we welcome so many archistars from the present panorama, as well as Kazuyo Sejima. She was Pritzker Prize in 2010, or Professor Eduardo Souto de Mura, who was Pritzker Prize 2011. They offered their experience to our students. As I said before, we start this year with a new program offered totally in English to Piacenza. I would like to focus on this one. This slide shows the constellation of the study course offered by our school. And in the small circle, you see the bachelor programs. In the big circle, you see the master program. Our course is located at this point and it means that when you get the graduation in architectural design, you can access almost all the master programs offered at our school and the corresponding programs that you can find in any other school around the world, concerning architecture, of course. About the reason why a student could apply for becoming an architect. In architecture, we normally propose a synthesis of humanities and sciences. And we want to develop in our students cultural awareness and technical competencies. This is quite abstract statement, but I would like to offer you an example. Look at a cathedral, for instance. Look at a mosque. Look at a temple, at a pyramid. What do they are? They are at the same time art masterpieces, but also technical masterpieces. And only combining these two fields, you can become good architects. Another misconception about architecture is just about buildings. This is not true, because architecture involves all the environment around us. And I would like to propose a nice definition of architecture proposed by William Morris, who said that architecture is every spatial transformation of the terrestrial crust, that is the surface of the earth, in order to provide adequate spaces for human beings. This is the approach that we have. This is the reason why in our courses you can learn and practice about landscape design, consider in the natural, in the artificial part, and in their relative balances. We also focus on the urban design, where the architecture match as the human beings, and they keep in touch with infrastructures and geographical locations. As well as we have a focus on the conservation, also considering the immense heritage that we have, and we have to preserve. And sometimes some intervention, they need to be carried out on that heritage. And of course, we don't forget to look to the future. That's why we also focus on building design, considering also the sustainability and the high technology innovation. Of course, there is another interesting field on which we are focusing in the last decades. It is that of the renovation of the open spaces, of the public spaces, in order to create familiar places to citizens that can live also outside the house and the flats. And of course, we have interior design. We have experienced during this lockdown period how much important interior space are. We would like to start with a definition from Leon Battista Alberti. It is a very old definition, 1445. It was maybe the reference architect who invented the modern professional profile of an architect. He said that I will call architect one who knows, based on certain reasons and rules, how to analyze things with mind and soul, and how to realize all those things which by movement of weights and the junction of body masses can be arranged with due dignity for the use of the human. It's a very complex program, as you can see. To do this, she must have cognition of the greatest and most excellent things, mastering them profoundly. Jumping to nowadays, we see another beautiful definition by Renzo Piano, who said that the architect's profession is one of adventure, working on the frontier poised between science and art, and on the borderline between invention and memory, suspended between courage of modernity and respect of tradition. Any project, it is placed on the real world, and the real world is the resulting from the history. So the relationship with the past is always at work when we promote the future. Concerning the professional organization of the architectural studio, you see that the collaboration is sometimes necessary. Sometimes we have a leader. This is a picture from the Le Corbusier atelier. And nowadays, big architectural professional studios, they are kind of, they have a sophisticated corporate identity. But the collaboration is at the base of this, of the mission of an architect. And this is the same idea on the basis of which we founded our school. And in fact, you see that you can see, as you can see in this picture, professors normally spend a lot of time working side by side with the students' works, and other students can participate in order to share knowledge and experiences, and to have workshop with them, in order not to leave students alone in developing their design abilities. All in all, we intend the education as a bridging process, leading the students from the admission to the graduation. In order to do this, we offer theoretical courses which work like kind of pillars, and we offer also studios where this theoretical knowledge, they are organized, they are synthesized, they are integrated in the architectural design experience. Before the graduation, students attend an internship, then they have a final exam, and then they graduate. During the process, they can also attend some exchange programs like various kind of Erasmus programs. Looking carefully to the program, we will see that we offer theoretical knowledge, and these are the courses. If you look at the right side, you see a list of apparently heterogeneous courses. From history of architecture to statics to mathematics to project evaluation. This is because architecture is a quite complex field, and you need a lot of competencies to become an architect. Maybe in the future you will not dive into each of these disciplinary fields, but you have to be able to have a contact, a dialogue with the specialist that will surround you during the design process, and most of all during the construction process. And concerning the studios, the studio are the places where the know-how is developed. You experience the project, you make projects. And in fact, you pay a lot of attention to the architectural design studios, where one per each year. And these architectural design studios are flanked by other studios dedicated to urban planning, building technology, historical buildings, interior design. And then we have also a final design studio we talk a little bit later on. From last year on, we also improved our digital graphics literacy. It is something leading the university to the future in a way. And we provide an appropriate DigiSkills program dedicated to this. Entering the program year by year, in the first year, the basic courses, theoretical courses are offered, and the first design experience, they are focusing on developing simple projects, taking care of the context around these buildings. And you will see this is the program. We have an architectural design studio. It is an annual course lasting 2 semesters, so you have a lot of time to carry out your first design experience. And contemporary, in the first semester, you have some theoretical courses, which are the basis. And in the second semester, a new studio appears dedicated to urban planning. And again, a theoretical course about technology. These are some of the results of the students from the first year. You can see, okay, the slide is bigger now, it's much better for me. There are drawings, models, everything, because this belongs to the language of an architect. Architect is one that speaks, but the privileged language of an architect is about drawing and modeling. In the second year, we promote the ability to master the relationship between materials, construction elements, environmental and functional requirements. It means that we start from concept and we lead to the, we approach the reality in terms that we aim to develop also practical skills in order to make the students closer and closer to the profession. This is the program of the second year. Again, an annual design studio with some theoretical courses and DigiSkills. In the second semester, building technology studio. Technology is a strong point in the second year. And in fact, if you look at the result, you see that in this project, some construction details are much better explained. This is the property of the second year. In the third year, the project is more mature. Students have to take into account all the aspects that comes into question when you develop a project and when you prepare for the construction. And you see there are 2 studios. One is mandatory, Architectural Design Studio 3 is 1 semester. And then students have the opportunity to attend one of these 2 studios, one dedicated to the preservation and the other dedicated to the interior. And finally, we have the final design workshop. We have several final design workshops, each one dedicated to a specific topic, and students can decide to attend the one that they like the most. Also in order to prepare themselves to a specific topic for the thesis, but also as a preview for the master program they want to attend in the future. Then there is an elective course that they can choose, and internship and final exam. You see that the results of the third year, they are more mature, the concept is more customized, there are no standard solution proposed, but it is something new that comes from the ideas of the students, which they are at the end more mature, as I said before. Concerning the professional internship you have to attend before the graduation, you can attend it in a professional studio or at an institution, external internship, or maybe you can also attend the internship inside university, collaborating with the professor and taking place in the activities that we normally carry out also in the technical laboratories. And the thesis be of two types. You can decide of develop it as a booklet under the guidance of a supervisor. It is an essay, or maybe you can develop a thematic portfolio without a supervisor, which is based on some experience that you, educational experience that you had during the course. Concerning the professional opportunities, there is a list on the left of things that you can do, but they are basically related to architecture, landscape, measurement, and construction works, and so forth. Once graduate, you can register in the public register of architects for young architects in the section B, and the name of the section is junior architects. If you want to take a look at the official definition of junior architect, according to our ministry, it is a professional figure for design and supervision of construction works, survey, surveillance, accounting, and liquidation related to simple civil construction and standard procedure. So you can do a lot of things either with this 3-year program. We also recommend you to look at the 7 minutes highlights related to our programs. They are available on the website in Italian and in English, and also to take a look at our website. I will show you some web pages. This is how the home page looks like. I recommend you to check into the upper banner and also in these icons. If you in the upper banner, you find the official information about the course, about the professor, even detailed information. While clicking on the icons, I clicked here on the icon of Piacenza, you can access the work gallery. This is maybe the most important web page you can check in order to be aware about your choice of attending our university, our course at Politecnico di Milano. In this section, you can see the students' work gallery, and they can be selected by year, by typology, courses, laboratories, essays, final thesis, whatever you want. And you can click on each of it, and you can see the details concerning the topic, professors, the students' authors, and you can also get nice high-resolution images in order to better see what is the level of investigation that the project carried out. Back to the upper banner, I also recommend you to scroll the study program section and to focus on the teaching prospectus. The teaching prospectus is a list of all the courses offered in the 3 years, divided year by year, 1, 2nd, and 3rd. This is a static list, but if you go at the bottom of the page, you can click on it on the here, and you reach the manifesto. The manifesto is a list of links. Of course, you have to set the manifesto, the School of Architecture, the program Architectural Design, and of course, the campus, in that case, Piacenza. Here you can see the list of the courses available. For each one, you can open the web page of the courses where you can find information about the teacher. In that case, is Professor Giulia Setti. She is here. And maybe clicking on the other icon, you can also see the detailed program with bibliography and all the information about the exam. In order not to get lost in the communication, lost on the website, I have to say that the communication at Polyme is organized as a kind of matrioskas, of Chinese boxes. I mean that the web page of the architectural design program is a web page of the School of Architecture, which is a web page inside the Politecnico di Milano web page, and so forth. But there are 2 overall pages inside the Politecnico di Milano website. They are for international and Poliorientami. They are for useful for the admission. You can find there all the information about how to apply, how to attend the test, what are the steps that you have to follow in order to register, and so forth. They pick up information in all these web pages in order to give something very useful for and informative for the new prospective students we hope to have in our university. At the moment, I can show you a photo gallery about Piacenza. The campus is very huge, very big. We have the headquarters in Via Scalabrini 67, then we have the properly said campus there. We see some images, the nice courtyard, there are some rooms, but this is as it appears in many days of the year, with a lot of students, which share experience, and also they can discuss each other in a very international context, students coming from many countries, and also students attending several years. Students from the first year can easily meet students from the master, and so forth. This is the added value, the additional gear that such kind of atmosphere can offer you. They are beautiful images, of course. I can just scroll them. I would like to point the attention on some specific supplies you have there, like the modeling lab. Modeling for architects is very important because making model is like a simulation of the construction process that you are expected to carry out after the graduation. So students are invited to develop simple models and then more and more complex model over the 3 years in order to become expert in how to realize spaces. And great events take place every year. One of these is the Summer School Open City, where a lot of international important guests come, either from the world of architecture, either from the cultural world in general. And in Piacenza, we also have a specific hub. This is the urban hub in Piacenza, dedicated to the high technology and to the startup. It is populated by students, normally from young people or young graduates, and you can learn a lot from that. And last but not least, we have Piacenza itself as a city with the beauties that you can find there, museums, and you can see here the theater and all the lively atmosphere of a typical Italian city, which is in between the Adriatic Sea, the sea and the Mediterranean Sea. So you are really in the center of the northern part of Italy. I would like to conclude this short presentation with a statement by Joe Ponti, who said the architecture as a profession, it must serve the future society on the functional, technical, productive, and economic levels. Several disciplines. It means that you have to study a lot of different topics. It must serve the happiness and the life needs for people, air, sun, health, assistant, work. It must nourish the intellect of people on the level of intelligence and style, unity, order, essentiality. But most interesting part of the statement is the last one. It must nourish the soul of people and their dreams at the level of the enchantment, imagination, magic, fantasy, poetry. Mind a little bit, how do you feel when you are in front of a great monument, like pyramids, like a Greek temple, or maybe a church, a big mosque? That's what Joe Ponti wanted to summarize. But considering the extension of the architecture, considering what is your feeling when you are inside a nice city, or when you are in front of a fantastic landscape. All these feels, they belong to the architecture. We will be waiting for you. Don't forget to apply and to come to us. Now there are the testimonials. We planned to have 2 testimonials, but we have Julia Nagibneva. I speak in the Russian style, in that case, and she has sometimes to tell you about her experience. As her position, she's a first-year student enrolled in the Bachelor program Architectural Design, which is our program at Piacenza Campus, which is the campus on which we are paying attention today.
Okay, yes. Hi, guys. My name is Yulia, as already you can see. I came to Italy in October, and I've been here for 9 months. And Politecnic actually provided freedom to choose to study like either in present, so online, but I chose to do it in the campus. Comparing to Milan, where 100 students, in Piacenza groups are smaller. Our group consists of 45 students approximately. That year in particular, about 10 people was attended the classes in presence. Actually, I love that atmosphere because it allows us like all interact to each other, and professors' approach was more individual. It's no difference in conditions and facilities between Milano and Piacenza campuses. So same professors from Milan could teach here. Then, okay, what I want to say is that living in Piacenza is more budget friendly comparing to Milan. You will be able to save up maybe your rent's minimum 200 euros and use this money for traveling and exploring Italy and Europe. It was a bit complicated that year because of some restrictions. In general, I visited Milan a lot of times, Como, and some small cities, for instance, Lodzi and Fidenza. But in general, it's so free to move between cities, especially in Milan. You could just take a train and you will be in Milan in 1 hour. As I did, just going in the morning and coming back in the evening. Then because it's a small city, it's very easy to reach places by foot and bike. So there is no need to take a public transport. I've used bus only 5 times. Each city, I want to say, in Italy is incredibly beautiful, and in order to comprehend and explore it, you need just to walk through streets and absorb this architecture. And I don't know, if you have questions, you can just ask and I can help you. But it was amazing here, and I wish you all will enroll next year.
Thank you, Julia. Maybe the question can be asked at the end. We can keep the answers for the end. And the second testimonial was Giorgia Piva, but she had, I think, vaccination today, so she couldn't come. She's already graduated in architectural design, but maybe next time. Thanks to our students and testimonials, to Julia, of course, and also Giorgia, who was available, but she couldn't at the last moment. And the very last part of this presentation is dedicated to the admission test. The admission test in architecture, which will take place on July 28. Mind the time zone, since I see that students are connected from all the countries of the world. Be careful to check the time zone. You know that it is necessary to have the admission test, and the arcade admission test for us is the initial part of the process. It is necessary to pass the test in order to put yourself in the educational process we told before. I would like to, as in the chat, I said I saw some questions about how many places we have. This is the total amount of places we have in architectural design, including Milan, Piacenza, Mantua, and with a master. But I would like you to focus your attention on Piacenza, the yellow-orange part, and especially the part marked by red square, red rectangle. So this year, we open an English track offering 50 places for students, for international students. 10 of them reserved for students from European Union, and 40, that is the majority of the places, these are for the extra European students. So 50 students, it is a new section in this program. So we duplicated the size of the bachelor program in Piacenza just for international purposes. That's why we also organized this meeting. As you can see from the names and surnames of the students among the people connected, you don't see Italians. This event has been published to international students only. We are very proud of that, and we hope that this presentation could help to engage you in our university. In this slide, you see on the left side the things that have been already explained by Francesca and Alessandra. We will focus on the right side about information how the test is. Test consists of 40 questions. Each question has 5 response options each. Just one is correct, of course. And the question is distributed in 5 disciplinary sections that you can see named here. We have 8 questions for general culture, 6 for logical reasoning, 12 for history, 6 for drawing and representation, and 8 for physics and maths. In total, they are 40 questions, and we have 70 minutes to answer. It means that you have an average of a bit more, 1.5 minutes to answer each question. The test times at verifying your background, including humanity, art, science, and techniques, for the reason we said before, because the course of study in architecture includes many disciplinary fields because of the complexity of the architecture. Normally, general culture and logical reasoning, they are related to social events in the history and in present time, and also includes a section dedicated to the comprehension of written text, including some logical problems to be solved in a short time, of course. Extra EU participant will have, residing abroad, they will have questions mostly referring to the international social and cultural context. Concerning history, also chronology is important. So the reference will be to some important events in the history, also history of art and architecture, but in relation to specific seasons of the history. Drawing a representation is dedicated to the ability to control the space through bidimensional images. So you will be offered images and you will be asked about what are the three-dimensional structures corresponding to them. Math and physics will concern arithmetic, algebra, trigonometry, basic principle of mechanics and statics, and electrostatics and electrodynamics, which is the amount of things they are normally facing during the high school. Considering the score, the disciplinary sections are to be completed one by one and close. For instance, when you start with logical reasoning, you have to close them and you pass after, and you cannot go back. You can also close them before the time limits if you are fast in answering. And the answers will be evaluated in this way. You will get 1.5 point for each correct answer, minus 0.4 points for each wrong answer. It means negative points, or 0 points in case of no answer. It is easy to calculate that the highest score is 60 points, and you can obtain it by answering correctly to all the 40 questions. The ranking at the end will be generated based on the score obtained. However, there is a hierarchy, and in case of tie, higher position in ranking will be attributed to whom with higher number of correct answers in the sections according to this priority order. So if you have the same points of other students, you will see who is the best in general culture and logical reasoning. If you have again the same points, who is the best in history will win. If you are again at the same points, that who is more has more correct question in drawing and representation, and so forth. If at the end you are totally at the same level, the younger will win. If you are born in the same day, it is a problem because you have to get the certificate at that point to see which minute you were born according to the time zone in the world. But I have to say that we have never had this kind of case. In any case, those who will not answer any question will not be included in the ranking. Last thing I have to say is that the ranking for extra EU participant may be a little bit different from the ranking that we provide for the EU students. It is established by Politecnico di Milano, so you will find it on the web page. Considering the day of the test, you have to refer to arcade test at home. We have two typologies of test, arcade at the university, but we don't offer this. We offer arcade test at home. It means that you will attend the test from your flat, from your home. Pay attention to the time zone. It's third time I highlight this. And pay attention to the room configuration and the network requirements. You will receive the link for attending. Considering the student's room configuration, this is more or less the setup. You will be sitting down on your desk with the computer in front of you, and the computer is to work. You have to work on the computer. But you also need to be seen from a camera, for instance, with a mobile phone placed on a bookshelf or some other devices on furniture, place it on the left or at the right, in order to give us the possibility to see if you are using other materials instead of the ones that are recommended. Okay, this is another visualization, the top view. So this is the first exercise in drawing and representation. You see the top view of the chair, the computer, and this is the your desk. And this is the mobile phone, which is to be placed in a way that you can be seen from the distance, and in order that we can all distinguish what is appearing on your screen. If you are having extra internet connection, we will be excluded from the test, as well as if you are using books or other devices or tools that are not allowed. Students with disabilities and dyslexia, they can require the appropriate support during the registration process, or maybe they can also take information right now. This is the multi-chance Polyteam address and numbers. You can refer for this kind of problems. Considering the preparation for the test, every year we offer training webinars or lectures in presence, but this year they are webinars from distance, where students can practice in real time with professors on questions appeared in the former edition of the test. So the dates this year are June 28 for the simulation of the test in Italian, and Tuesday, June 29 in the afternoon for the simulation of the test offered in English. We strongly recommend you to register for this second appointment, which will be offered in English. Consider that registration is free according to the place available, and the video records will be also published online until the day of the test. I hope that this is clear. They are kind of live events where we professors, we will show you some questions, and we will also show you how to solve the question, how to answer these questions. Concerning information, which is the most important part, going on the master webpage of Politecnico di Milano, info for international prospective students, you open the page international prospective students. Scrolling down, you will find laurea. At this point, you scroll down and you can see application for EU citizens or application for extra EU citizens, and also test details. Clicking on test details, you can find among the tests offered at the university, at our university, test in architecture. Clicking on this link, you will see a long web page that you can scroll, where you can also see the details of the contents of the topics, of the questions. And you have the link to CISIA portal that you have to use for attending the test. So be careful, because the registration is to be carried out on the Polytechnic website, but the test is to be carried out using the CISIA platform. When you click on CISIA platform, it's really tongue twister, you can access this page where you can log in as a student, and there is also a space to practice. There is a practice area when you can simulate a test. Of course, you can get the website from scratch, directly from Google or other browsers, and you will see some quick links to the relevant chapters of this website, and also a quick link to the section in which you can practice. If you need other information and you want to enjoy Italian language, you have Poliorientami, which is totally in Italian. Or maybe if you want to have the templates of the former test until 2018, 2019, you can reach the homepage 2019 of Universitaly, and there you can download all the tests. Just to show you how these tests looked like in the past, they were like this. Normally in these templates, in order to facilitate the exercise, the correct answer is always A. And these are the pages in the 5 topics, general culture, logical reasoning, history, representation, and maths, just pages to give you an example how this looked like in the past when students were given the hard copies. Nowadays, everything is online, so you enter an application, and this application you have just to pick the correct answer in the list. I think this was the last slide, and let's test. And now I don't know if there are questions you can ask. But we lost the moderator.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes,
here.
perfect.
Okay,
I'm here.
okay.
So we do have. Sorry, Professor, you were saying.
No, please.
Okay, so we have a few questions here. The first one is that some students are asking for the material to studying in English because they look for it, but they only found the Italian one. Do you have somewhere where they can find the English one?
Okay, they can find three. There are 3 possibilities. First is downloading from Poliorientami, maybe something English is. The other option is going on this website, and I think the last, which is the first in the list, the most recent test, it is also in English. I think that in the now the slide is so small I cannot see, but in the year 17, 18, and 18, 19, the questionnaire was also offered in English, and students can download the English version and the Italian version from here. This is the first. The second could be searching on Poliorientami, and the last one is attending these webinars that we are offering on the June 28th.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Someone here also wants to know, is it already clear if the next academic year will be fully in person, distance, or mixed?
Yes, this is a great problem. We are doing our best to have the academic year in presence, but we are still hesitant because we don't know how the situation will evolve in terms of pandemic spread. I have to say that Politecnico di Milano last year provided a great investment in terms of equipment of the rooms, so that although in case we have to, some students cannot attend the lectures in presence, they can attend the lectures from distance because the rooms are equipped with video cameras and with all the devices useful for attending the class from distance. So we will assist students either in class or at home. At least in the first semester, we expect to have this kind of mix, I think. In the second semester, maybe we can also hope that the situation will be stabilized and we can maybe hope to stay in class. But anyway, it is not a problem. If you like our school, if you like our program, if you want to become our students, please apply. We will take care of you from distance or in presence. We are equipped for any of these 2 options with great pleasure.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Here somebody wants to know how long the program is.
How long the program? 3 years, of course, because it's a bachelor program. 3 years with several credits every year. If you look at the teaching prospectus I showed you before, you can see one by one. I don't know if I have time, but I recommend you to look at the manifesto. So the shortcut for understanding what is the program, I think it is a relevant question. That's why I'm wasting time in
Yeah,
this.
it's okay. No worries.
I look quiet, but I'm quite stressed, of course. Anyway, this is when you go in the website and you go in the teaching prospectus, you will see this page. Here we see all the courses listed, first, second, and third year, and the amount of credits for each. If you go at the bottom of the page and you click in the lower right corner, you will be redirected to the Politecnico webpage. You have to select School of Architecture, Architectural Design, and Piacenza, and you will see the list of the courses. You can click on them and you can see the programs, and you can also have information about professors and about the single programs, including the regulation for the exam and so forth. There you can have a picture of what the course consists of in terms of duration, in terms of also commitment for students, and so forth.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. Here, someone is asking, after obtaining the bachelor degree, do we need to clear any additional tests to get a license to become a practicing architect?
To be registered in the public register, yes. There is a state exam dedicated to architects who want to apply for being registered on the official register junior of junior architects, which is the section B. Because we have a big register for master graduates, which is section A, and the section B is for junior architects. Junior architects are those having a bachelor degree. But of course, there is a state exam where professors and professionals together form a commission and they evaluate the proof, and the graduates, they have to attend an exam, of course.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. Here, can the students apply to more than one campus at the same time?
This is not impossible if you are one person, I think. If you, I don't know if you have the gift of the ubiquity. I don't know, but no, it is better to apply to one campus. Maybe if it is strictly necessary, we can also consider some transfers from one campus to the other. But it is better to, yeah, you can attend just one course.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Maybe the twins, they can decide to have. If we have twins, they can decide to split and to experience.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. The last question that I have over here is, it is necessary to be fully vaccinated in order to attend the in-person classes?
At the moment, we do not have this policy because the vaccine, okay, maybe they have to be tested in advance when they come in Italy. They have to pass all these controls in order to enter the city, to enter the country. Once you are in the country, then you can attend.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I have here another question from Lilith that says, is TOEFL a competitive score?
It is a competitive school, of course, but in the sense that it is a challenging school, but not in a negative way. This school is really nice because together you can live in the university 24 hours if you want, because together with the lectures outside the class, we have a lot of events that take place every day. So it is a kind of educational atmosphere that surrounding students during the 3 or 5 years they like to spend with us. And I think especially in Piacenza, the fact that you have a kind of confined campus, it is really clearly visible in the city, also makes this feeling even stronger. because that is also a kind of hub where many also social events take place. And of course, it is challenging. Of course, it is competitive, but professors are really strongly engaged in the education of the students. We are professors from this side. We can see that we spend a lot of our time, including this time, of course, in order to have relationship with the students. And then also the organization of the Italian university is such that we have a kind of peer committee. There is a committee where we have equal number of students and professors inside that take place of the relationship between students and professors. So if something wrong happens, you have a person that can help you, give advices, and so forth. I think that we have kind of mass customization approach to education. Consider this is the biggest course of study in Italy in architecture. We graduate about 1/5 of the Italian architects every year. But anyway, we have a lot of professors, we have a lot of administratives, and we have great infrastructures, and we can, of course, promise to follow students one by one if necessary.
Excellent, thank you.
And the fact that the school is competitive is a great quality. All the great universities, they are competitive. Because the professional world is competitive, especially nowadays, because it is unpredictable what an architect is expected to do in the future. In the past, it was clear. You become an engineer and you do this all along your life. But in the moment, as you know, the situation is changing every day. So you have to be also educated to this flexibility and the richness of the program, the various disciplines, the various disciplinary approach, open your mind at the end.
Totally agree. Yeah. Yeah, guys, Politecnico is an amazing institution. Just go through to the website and you will see all the information about it. Or even if you just Google it, you will see lots of great stuff about this university. Thank you very much for that answer. And I believe that Julia helped us a lot on the Q&A section here on the chat. So I don't know, I believe that we have reached almost the end of the webinar. I don't know if you want to share anything else before we just wrap it up.
Just a comment on Bruno Zevi. There is a student who mentioned Bruno Zevi. The Italian title of the first edition of his most famous book was Latin, Architectura in Nuce. It means the essence of architecture. I recommend you to read this book. Compare with Nikolaus Pevsner also books and others talking about the space, which is the new approach of architecture from the 20th century on.
Excellent, thank you very much. Does anyone else want to add anything before we close this webinar?
I just want to thank Julia for coming for this section, and I also would like to thank Professor Luigi Cocchiarella for the great explanation on all the matters of the Piacenza campus. I'm also available for some questions. I'm also replying in the chat, so I invite you, encouraging the students to take this opportunity to join us and to come to the Piacenza campus for all the benefit and some of the experiences also Julia pointed out. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody, and thank you to the participants. And we hope to meet you soon in Piacenza or in Milan if you want. Bye.
Bye. I wrote in the chat the name of Giulia Setti, who will be the reference person for students who will enroll in the course at Piacenza, because she's the vice coordinator for there. Sorry, Andrea, for this last.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks for this great
very much.
hospitality to Carla.
No, thank you for this amazing presentation. It was super interesting. Thank you for giving us, the students and me, a little bit of your time to explain everything about this amazing bachelor program. And thank you for all the students who attended today. Thank you very, very much, guys. We really appreciate you being here. And I'll see you next time.
See you in Piacenza, everybody.
See you in Piacenza soon.
Ciao,
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.